Welcome to today's deep dive. We are pulling from technical specs and manufacturer documentation today to explore this hidden high-tech world of commercial audio networking.
It's a world that's changing pretty fast, too.
Yeah, exactly. Our mission today is to uncover how commercial audio has evolved from, just blasting raw volume out of speakers to utilizing these highly efficient smart network ecosystems. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Right, let's get into it.
We are examining a very specific piece of hardware today, the QSC CX-Q 4K4 Network Amplifier. It carries a $3,170 price tag, but looking at our sources, this isn't just a standard amplifier.
No, not at all. It serves as a sophisticated bridge. The transition we are seeing in the industry is taking massive raw electrical power and, well, bringing it entirely under the control of programmable digital routing.
Which is wild. I'm looking at this spec sheet, and it notes this single box can push up to 8,000 watts of maximum total power across 4 channels.
Yeah, it's a massive electrical load.
Right. Especially for a piece of hardware that only weighs 25 pounds. Like, how does it not just melt?
Well, pushing that much power without melting the chassis requires a very specific architecture. It uses a 5th-generation Class D powertrain.
And that's based on the PL380 Powerlight platform, right?
Exactly. Class D amplifiers basically switch power on and off at blinding speeds, which drastically cuts down on wasted heat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that mechanism is how it stays so light while keeping distortion down to like a pristine 0.02 to 0.05% at 8 ohms.
Wow, that's incredibly low. The documentation also highlights these automatic energy-saving modes alongside features called FlexAmp and FAST. And FAST stands for Flexible Amplifier Summing Technology.
Right.
I was actually trying to visualize this. Think of a smart city water grid. Instead of running every fire hose at maximum pressure all the time, just in case, a smart grid routes the water exactly where a fire breaks out.
That's a really good analogy.
Thanks, but how does that translate electrically here?
What's fascinating here is the physical mechanism behind that flexibility. FAST literally allows the amplifier to bridge multiple channels together.
Oh, so it combines them.
Yeah, pooling either voltage or current depending on what the specific speakers demand at that exact moment.
Give me an example of how that works in the real world.
So, if a sprawling casino needs a huge power draw for the main room subwoofers during a big show, but barely a trickle for the patio speakers...
The amp just adjusts automatically.
Exactly. The amplifier dynamically redirects its internal power reserve to the channels that need it most.
You can't just unleash 8,000 watts of dynamically pooling power without a serious nervous system to keep it in check and tell it where to go.
No, definitely not.
And that brings us to its networking capabilities. Because the CX-Q 4K4 integrates directly into the Q-SYS digital ecosystem.
The amplifier essentially functions as a highly capable IT node. It features 4 channels of mic or line inputs that act as direct on-ramps.
On-ramps to get local audio into the wider Q-SYS network, right?
Yeah, exactly. It also includes 8 bidirectional GPIO connections. Those allow it to interact with third-party peripherals.
Like what kind of peripherals?
Well, for instance, a fire alarm could trigger the amplifier to automatically mute the ambient music and just instantly broadcast an evacuation message.
That's a huge safety feature. But I have to challenge this setup a bit. Our sources talk a lot about its drag-and-drop IT network routing.
Yeah, it's a major feature.
But is a drag-and-drop software interface really necessary for an audio amplifier? What happened to simply running a speaker wire to a terminal and twisting a volume knob? Why turn an audio rack into an IT server?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, centralizing control over the digital network actually simplifies massive complexity. Think about a multi-story venue.
Okay.
If you rely on physical wires and manual knobs, making a single routing change means dispatching a technician to physically climb into a ceiling.
Or swap cables in some dark server room.
Right. But by putting the amplifier on the network, a single operator at a computer interface can monitor the amp's health, reroute audio signals, and adjust processing across the entire property instantly.
Wow. So what does this all mean? Like, for you listening to this, planning your next venue, the main takeaway from our stack of sources is that the future of commercial audio completely leaves the dumb amplifier behind.
It really does.
It relies entirely on marrying incredibly efficient, massive power distribution with a smart IT-friendly environment.
The hardware itself is now part of a building's core IT infrastructure, capable of reacting to the environment rather than just pushing voltage continuously.
Which really makes you wonder about the next logical step. If physical amplifiers are already acting like programmable nodes on a drag-and-drop IT network, How long until we see automated systems actively rerouting audio power and mixing levels in real time,
Yeah.
purely based on the size and noise of a crowd? Something to think about.